You know, and to that point, I had the unique opportunity, and I'm really, really pleased to be able to say this. The Prince George's Chamber of Commerce conducted a number of political forums this past election season to give the community the opportunity to meet various people who were running for county council, running for Congress, whatever positions they might be moving toward. And I got the opportunity to play host to several of these forums, which is really good for the magazine and a lot of fun. And I enjoyed hearing some of the interplay between the candidates. And of course, it was always great to ask some of these questions because you never know. You can't judge what anyone's going to do on a day-to-day basis, but you get a sense of what someone's philosophy is, what their patterns are, what kind of ideas they have. And what I thought was phenomenal was that people came out to these forums. We're talking about starting at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Some of the places, the locations were fairly remote, but people were able to find them, find their way to them. And I was impressed with that because that is a reflection of our folks' interest in the political process, but more importantly, their interest in their community and what is going to happen, who's going to be leading the community. And I think that was phenomenal. I wish that there was more participation, but the fact that the Chamber of Commerce held these forums, the fact that people participated in them, and the fact that the candidates made themselves available to speak to the issues, phenomenal. I wouldn't have exchanged it for the world.
I think the Sweet Magazine did an excellent job as far as the major candidates. That was, I published this, I had on my last show, where you had all the candidates for county exec. I think you did an excellent job. I don't think that has happened before. So I like to commend the Sweet Magazine for putting this program out here with all the candidates and basically what the election was about. So like I said, I like to commend the Sweet Magazine for putting that flyer out. It was I was very impressed with it, and a lot of people were too. So I like to tell you on the air in public, you know, the appreciation that the magazine getting involved into the system.
Ed, I got to tell you, I got to thank you for recognizing and certainly taking a look. But there is nothing that we're doing that has not been done first by your leadership in media, your leadership in this county. And the fact that this show exists, that allows people who contribute to this community in this county to do this work is phenomenal. We simply couldn't be here without it. So my hat is consistent. But let me make this quick point before we move forward with regard to our significance on having put out something that promotes the 5 top candidates for county executive. Our significance there and having put together that piece and putting together something, the regular edition, which is what you were holding up a minute ago. I think that one of the things that is interesting with regard to Prince George's County and media, and again, this speaks back to you, is that a lot of the most pioneering work that is done with regard to information and information exchange and communication media has been done here in Prince George's. And it's very, in my view, under-recognized. But what I enjoy the most is that we are part of that legacy.
Right.
I am standing now in my portion of the legacy. I'm just holding my baton, and I imagine that at some point I will get to pass it. But for the time that I'm holding it, it does mean a great deal to me that that we are holding this torch high, and that we're doing it in the tradition that you and people like yourself have set forward.
Well, actually, what has been impressive, what has impressed me with you and brought us together was the positiveness of your magazine. Prince George County is taking a beating with the media, you know, in this area. You know, it's always negative things that come out. And this show, and so is your magazine, is based on positive news, things that individuals in Prince George County are doing positively. See, but when you read the major media, very seldom you see positiveness in Prince George County. They generally take a rap, you know, and that's the thing that got me going. And that's the thing when you decided to come in with this magazine, this is what we need. You know what I mean? And this is what Prince George's need. They need to really support it, because anything that you have on a positive note, you can take it to the Prince George's Sweet magazine or the Ed Brown Show.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's it. If it's positive, we want to know about it.
Exactly.
One of the two, and you'll get that thing. Another thing we want to talk about too is we have a little deal there. I told you that as far as the magazine is concerned, we have a little contest. Anyone that calls in,
who's got it made,
right? that would call in, they would get a free subscription to. If they see the magazine and they pick out the story that you feel you're the one who told me about it.
Okay, there is a story in this edition of the magazine.
Okay.
And it is based on someone who has a phenomenal track record here. It has a number in the story, and it has to do with who's got it made. Now, somebody in this magazine has got it made. Now, whoever can tell us who's got it made, send that email in or call in to the Ed Brown Show. Let us know who's got it made. Ed is going to pick up a free subscription for that individual who gets to us first with that information.
That's right. Because we want you basically to get involved with the Sweet magazine. And the other thing now, individuals with stories of success, who do they call? For instance, your magazine now, who takes care of that? Because we can't cover everything. There's a lot of things happening out there positively.
Right.
If we get the you have a community desk in which an individual can call in, and then you all would actually look over the story and things of that nature. I think because a lot of things happen in the communities that never reach the major media, but people in the neighborhoods, Capitol Heights, Bowie, Upper Marlboro, they want to, an unsung hero is in their neighborhood. And I suggest maybe you have an unsung hero section in your magazine. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea. I think just to answer your question, most of the inquiries where people have someone of interest or something of interest, they should send those inquiries to editor2@pgsuite.com.
Okay.
It's editor, number 2 at pgsuite.com. And in that way, we get those stories, we get at least those leads toward what could be great profiles. And as for those unsung heroes, we believe that there are thousands. I mean, there are 860,000 people in Prince George's County, and there are thousands. We'll never run out of good stories to tell.
That's what I mean.
Never,
and I think that would be a good move to do that, because there's so many positive things, like I said, that are happening in Prince George's. But when you pick up the regular media, you never see it. Everything is on the negative line. And those were the things that back in the 70s that I was really appalled by. That's why I got involved with the radio, got involved with newspaper, and just God sent you to Prince George County. When I saw this magazine, I said, well, this is it. This is the thing that we need. We need people to understand we have a lot of positive things occurring in Prince, in every field.
Absolutely. Well, I don't always. I worked in daily newsrooms. I worked in radio, and I know those guys have a job to do.
I understand. Program managed news.
I get it. I understand it. And somewhere along the line, decisions get made, and those decisions don't always roll in our favor, and I understand that. But we have a job to do too. And I believe that most lifestyle publications, most lifestyle programming like yours, is designed to give people a second look or a closer look at a subject or a person or an issue. And I think we do a pretty good job of giving people an opportunity to look at individuals here and groups here and organizations here in Prince George's County and in the region, for that matter, to say that here's the bright side of that story. And I'll give you a perfect example. You look at the Redskins' track record, and I'll tell you, the daily news people will beat up on them all the time because, I mean, let's face it, I mean, a win is a win and a loss is a loss, and not getting to the playoffs and what have you. And so we're pretty excited about some of the things that are happening for the Redskins now. Looking at their some of the new selections and things that are going on with them, with McNabb coming to DC, and looking at how they're looking on the line of scrimmage these days. They're looking like they may actually have another side to the story to tell, and that's the story that we went ahead and told. And it's one of the things that we looked at in this edition.
And all this is in this edition. This is what I'm saying. Say, they really get involved with that. And the other thing too is about suggestion. Now, one thing I always say, we have to look back and look forward too. I would like for you to consider a youth story in every, where the youth are really taking the beating, you know, because of various reasons, education, things like that. If we can get them involved, where you have a youth corner or something like that, what do you think about that?
I always think those are good ideas. Anytime you get young people engaged, not only are you doing a service for them, you're doing a service for yourself, because the organizations that are supported and attended and worked by young people tend to have some of the most innovative ideas, tend to have some of the most energetic people. So I think that that's a fantastic idea.
Okay, before we go, what about internship? Now, and just like here at the station, we have internship for the programs. And if you have internship for where they would get credit in school for the work they do for the paper or for the magazine.
Yes, sir.
And just like here, we have interns that come in and they get credit in high school and in college. If they major in communication, this is it.
This is the place to be. You know, we are poised right now for an explosion in within Prince George's Suite with regard to our development and work. When you consider our website, we're launching a new website that will be 4 times larger than the one we have now.
Is that right?
It comes up in late October. We're working on a television show format that will take the magazine and bring it to life into a 3D kind of format. And with all of these things happening, we need more talent than ever. We need people. We need people around as stringers. We need people around as reporters. We need photographers. We need volunteers. We need people at the front desk. And I can't plead this case strongly enough. We need people working with this magazine.
All right, you've heard it here on the Ed Brown Show. Now, hey, with the Sweet magazine, this is your opportunity, young people out there, and get an internship with the Sweet magazine or with the Ed Brown Show. I mean, anyone majoring in communications, all they have to do, they can get credit at their schools for internship. Okay, and so with that, I'd like to thank Raoul again for bringing us a first-class edition of the Prince George's Press.
Thank you for having us.
Prince George's Suite magazine. And the idea is that you've done a terrific job, and keep up the good work. Okay, then, you've heard it, Ed Brown, and don't forget, the Prince George's Suite magazine is the magazine, and you better get you one today.
Hello, I'm Corporal Ramon Bunton with the Bowie Police Department. Are you an aggressive driver? Does stoplights change too fast for you? Does traffic make you crazy? Do you drive frustrated, selfish, or pushing? Do you speed and whip in and out of lanes? You know, that's all aggressive driving. And 2/3 of all traffic deaths involve aggressive driving. So Bowie police officers are targeting these drivers with tickets, fines, and points. Anyone can be an aggressive driver, in your car, motorcycle, or truck. Anytime you stop respecting the rights and safety of others, you become an aggressive driver. But Smooth Operator Law Enforcement is out there now, catching aggressive drivers in the act. So stop driving like that. Smooth Operator, we're tough on aggressive drivers.